race fans, to the final round of the 2019 Canadian Flat Track Championships. Today's race from the Hiawatha Horse Park in Sarnia, Ontario. This is round 9. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we get set for a 5/8 mile. Brian, another beauty. Today's racing will be brought to you by Parts Canada. At Parts Canada, we support the sport. And Harley-Davidson MasterCard. Get the Ultimate Rider Rewards credit card with the Harley-Davidson MasterCard. Okay, Fabs, 4 championships are going to be handed out today, and we're going to start with DTX Intermediate. Boys and girls are on the line, and this one's going to be
Yeah, Travs, it has been an amazing series for these intermediate riders. Some of them coming up from the junior ranks, doing really well. The top riders wanting to get into that expert class.
Front riders there looking for the light to go green, and we're off, Brian, coming into corner number 1. Who is going to get the whole shot as we go on board with the number 11 of Dylan Beekson at Alpine Stars Helmet Cam. Great start for Beeks.
Yeah, she is on the gas. She got a great jump, but then kind of got pulled here as the top pack starting to inch away down the back straight, Travs, on these DTX 450 converted motocross bikes. The number 90 of Fibs is in trouble. It looks like it's the 909 that just snuck right in.
Scott with a dynamite line as he sliced through the middle. Beeks on the inside was looking good, and Fibs had his hands full. Nice little cluster right up here. You see Fibs taking off with that lead. Brian, here comes the 11 of Beeks.
She is on the gas right now, and you can see just how brutal the roost is out here. The track is pretty soft out in the outside, pretty rutted out, so these riders really have their work cut out for them. There's Dylan out in that soft stuff, cutting back down. A little step up there, a minor moment there for Fibs. He gets control of that Honda. But look at Beeks in the slipstream.
Our final DTX Intermediate race of the season goes to the number 90 of Fibs with the number 11 of Dylan Beeks hot on his heels. But remember, the 6 of Lambert, who secured this championship, Brian, did not race in this class today and has moved up to Expert for the evening. So we'll get back to him a little later on. Now let's get to our top 10 in that final race. Fibs, Beeks, Scott, Lonan, and Shepard rounding out your top 5. Then we've got Corbet, Deadman, Little, Hunt, and Thistleweight rounding out the top 10. Fabs in pound.
Number 11, Dylan Beeks out here. Second place. What a race. Third place for a long time, and you just put your head down and made a move, and you're even challenged for the lead. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I tried my best out there. The track's been good to me all day. Did good in my heat races. I tried my best for the win, but Jared ended up getting it.
A rising star in Canadian flat track. Let's get to our DTX Intermediate final standings. Of course, your winner and champion is the number 6 of Dustin Lambert. As we discussed, he's moving up to the expert class tonight. Scott and Fibs round out your top 3. Okay, DTX Expert on the line. This is going to be an absolute bar banger. These guys know how to take care of the bit. Welcome back to the Hiawatha Horse Park in Sarnia, Ontario for the final round of the 2019 Canadian Flat Track Championships. DTX Expert riders are on the line. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we get set. Oh, Fabs, I can't wait. Now, first, let's get to the point standings after 8 of 9, as this is the final one. The number 1 of Dustin Brown has secured the championship. He's ahead of Pouliot, but the battle is for third place between Hunter Bauer and Jimmy the Jet McCullough. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on those guys on the line, Brian.
100%. This DTX Expert final brought to you by Honda Motorcycles. Feel the Honda difference, Travs, and a lot of Hondas out on this track, especially our number 1 rider, Dustin Brown, and the 24 of Hunter Showtime Bauer.
Let's go green, Brian. Riders off the line, blasting into corner number 1. Let's go on board with Showtime. Hunter Bauer, Alpine Stars Helmet Cam, and look at the start for Jimmy the Jet on the wide side.
And McCullough on the Yamaha challenging. But look at that drive right there, that KBR Honda from Dustin Brown just pulls several bike lengths down the back straightaway. But I'm liking the challenge from the 16 Kawasaki rider, Dave Pouliot. They are storming through Travs. They are letting her dangle through turn 3-4.
Pouliot relegates Jimmy the Jet to 3rd. Looks like Bauer's in 4th place. Look at that inside line for Hunter Bauer as he takes care of the business. Oh my goodness. Oh, but Jimmy the Jet gets a little drive on the outside and gets back into third.
Bit of a tank slapper there for young Hunter Bauer, trying to make the move. The way the track has developed, a lot of moisture, a lot softer than we saw at Georgia Downs. Check out Pouliot way up high. Bauer on the outside of Jimmy the Jet McCullough. Looks like he made it stick, Travis. What a move from the young gun.
Some very experienced line choice out there, Brian, from a young rider in the 24 of Bauer as he makes it stick, you're right, on a huge fast track. As we get back up to our leader, the number 1 of Brown. I'm liking the way that Pouliot's kind of hanging back a little bit, keeping him in his sights, but getting out of that roost zone.
Pouliot has been fast all day throughout the heats now. To be fair to Brown, he's got this thing clinched. He just needs to finish and get that championship solidified. He doesn't play that way, though, Travis. He wants to take the W. Bauer on that equally prepared Kurt Beaker Honda. You see Brown and Bauer's bike side by side. They look pretty identical. So we know Bauer and Brown both on top-notch equipment.
When I'm looking at this track tonight, Brian, it's a lot rougher than we saw at Georgia Downs. And you had mentioned that, softer. So these riders are carrying a lot up on the pillow, but they're not getting a smooth slider on those corners. Look at this coming out of 4.
Man, that cushion is really getting soft. It's almost like a huge motocross berm with some ruts in it. So we're seeing the riders stepping in and out in a big high side situation. The riders really got to pour it on and use that strength. Look at the machine they're correcting, overcorrecting, and look at the tuck. Pouliot has made a charge on that John Parker Kawasaki. That thing is fast as well. This is some real action out here in Sarnia.
Did you see Brown run him right up almost into the fence, forcing Pouliot to run that wide line? And now the cutback, Brian. This is where you really got to get on the gas and get tight on that bike.
Man, oh man, he's got to just get up on the inside and then play some mind games with Brown. Brown, there it is now. Pouliot cannot afford to go wide here. He's got to stay on the inside of Brown, but that Honda is up for the challenge.
Well, there's no question. We've seen Brown's bike in the straightaway pull away from every other bike, so Pouliot has to develop a strategy to counter that, and here he is on the outside. Oh my, what a line. It's dicey, Brian, bar to bar. Oh my goodness, this racing is ridiculous.
Look at the intensity from number 1, Brown. He is focused, but Pouliot just motors around the outside. Good thing he's got that suspension to soak up all those ruts now. Finally gets a little reprieve and pulled a big gap there coming out of turn 2.
It was amazing that he found traction coming out of 2 because his bike was dancing all over the place. The control that these riders have at speed it's mind-boggling to me, Brian.
This is some kind of wild racing. There's road racing, there's motocross, but this just takes the nerves of steel to a whole new level.
And it's interesting to see Pouliot in the lead right now. Brown, of course, has been the number 1 rider in this class. We know that. But Pouliot's had some wines and had opportunities to beat him. So it's nice to see him make something stick if he gets the checkered flag in this final DTX Expert race.
It's nice to get a couple different colors up on top of the box as well. And Pouliot, he is a true competitor. He is not happy when things don't go his way. He's had a few mechanicals, but his riding has been on point, and he is a danger man every time this expert class lines up. And I mean, Brown has had an amazing year, but Pouliot and the boys have kept him honest.
100% the 16 Kawasaki. Pouliot in the lead on his last lap, Brian, coming into 3, gracefully around 3, running into some lap traffic, running that high pillow line, almost out of control, but definitely in control as he comes into the straightaway and takes the checkered flag in the final DTX Expert race of the season, Brian.
Heroic ride there for Pouliot. We know Brown probably backed it off a bit after he got past.
All right, let's get to our top 10 in the final DTX Expert race of the season. You know your winner. That's Pouliot on the Kawasaki. Brown, Bauer, McCullough, and Newman are your top 5. Let's go down to Brian Coster in the impound with our championship top 3.
The number 24 Honda, Hunter Showtime Bauer, 3rd overall in the pro class at 15 years of age. I mean, what a breakout year for you. You got to feel pretty proud of your year.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my first year in Expert, and I just can't be more proud of myself and my team for working really hard, and me working hard on myself and just pushing myself to the fullest.
Kawasaki Canada's Dave Pouliot from Quebec City. Dave, not the year you really wanted, but 2nd in DTX Expert. You got to feel pretty good. You salvaged a great result here in this class.
Yeah, it's not the year for sure, but we were keeping pushing hard every weekend. If that year would have happened like 3 years ago, I would have probably quit, but I think I'm more mature and I can get to those racetracks even if I do bad and keep pushing myself to get better every time.
For the second year in a row, Dustin Brown takes the championship here in DTX Expert. Man, oh man, Dustin, what a year it's been for you. Great starts and just the confidence to hold those leads to the checkers. A stellar year.
Yeah, we've been working on it all year and training hard all winter, and it paid off pretty good this year.
Congratulations to the number one of Dustin Brown, as he is your 2019 DTX Expert champion. That's back-to-back for Brown. As we get ready for the open class, Brian, and open intermediate riders are now making their way into staging. Final race of the season for this class. Who's going to take the checker flag? Green light goes next. Welcome back to round 9 of the 2019 Canadian Flat Track Championships. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we are at the Hiawatha Horse Park in Sarnia, Ontario, getting set for the Open Intermediate Final. Brian, riders are on the line. This is going to be a fantastic race. Now, a point to say, the number 6 of Lambert will not be riding in here. Again, has moved up to the pro class. So we're looking at anybody's race here, Brian, in this Open Intermediate Final. She's going to be a beauty. Riders are on the line, waiting for those lights to go green. Check yellow, yellow, green, and they're off. Brian coming in the corner, number 1. Who's going to get the whole shot?
Wow, looks like the 69T of Kyle Shepard on that Factory Canada Husqvarna on board the Alpine Snellers helmet cam with Dylan Beeks. As she makes a move around fifth, we saw Beeks snare second earlier tonight in DTX. Now in the open class, she's running right up front with the boys again.
Brian, look at the number 69 Husqvarna of Kyle Shepard in the lead, Brian. This is the best start he has had all season, and a nice cluster battling for second place. And here comes the 69 of Lawnon on the inside.
Yeah, the 69B of Lawnon makes a move, but check out Dylan Beeks gets him right back as she has got an excellent line down low, Trav. Check out the 11. She is a lightweight rider, and her speed down the straights is tremendous, making the moves on fifth. We got a four-way battle for the lead here in the Open Intermediate. They are jostling and jockeying for position, Trav. Awesome racing.
Shepard went a little wide, and you saw Phipps and Lawnon blow through the middle. Now coming out of quarter 4, Phipps in the lead, Lawnon in second, and the number 11 of Dylan Beeks, who's having a hell of a night, Brian, in third place.
She is awesome. I am telling you, her parents got to be so proud of her. Up here running with the boys. This intermediate class is full of talented riders that have worked their way up through the ranks with designs on becoming an expert. Phipps leading Lawnon right now as they come into the checkers. Last rider through checkers is up. It is the 90 of Jared Phipps on the Honda. A solid night for Phipps Racing. The whole crew, and I love those flaming leathers right there, Trav's looking solid.
To our top 10 in the Open Intermediate Final race of the season. Phipps was your winner. Lawnon and Beeks rounding out your top 3. Then we have Scott, Hunt, and Dedman. Let's go down to the impound with our champion in this class.
Number 6, Dustin Lambert. Lambert Racing taking both championships in the intermediate class, both Open and DTX. Dustin, an amazing season. You got to be just pumped on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I came out here just to have fun this year, and I ended up winning the championship, and I moved up to see play with the big boys here, and we'll see what happens next year.
To our final standings in Open Intermediate, there is your winner, the number 6 of Dustin Lambert, of course, winning both of the intermediate classes in 2019, so congratulations to him. Scott and Phipps round out your top 3 in Open I. And now we have the big boys on the line. The Framer class, Open Expert. This is the premier class of racing in the country, Brian, and the final race of the season for these guys.
Yeah, beautiful motorcycles, fully custom made, custom prepared. A lot of the mechanics, they have a lot vested in this class. Looking at the championship right now, Brown has a commanding lead. Seguin, Evans, right in the wheelhouse. Pouliot, some difficulties, but a good battle with Bauer and Jimmy the Jet.
It's going to be an interesting race, Brian, because Brown does not have to win to secure the championship. He just has to finish. And of course, this Open Expert race will be brought to you by Yamaha Motor Canada and Yamaha Racing. Join the blue crew and race a Yamaha. And we see the blue, Jimmy the Jet, McCullough, they blast off the line with the green light coming into corner number 1. Let's go on board the Elva Stars helmet cam and Hunter Showtime Bauer.
You can see the riders getting squirrely as they struggle for traction out of the hole. But Brown looking solid. Teammate Hunter Bauer right in the draft coming into turn 3. Woohoo! High speed thrills and spills. These framers or the open class of the bikes a lot lower, Trav, so you can see that CFG, they are carrying a lot more speed through the apexes of these high-speed turns.
The number 16 of Pouliot is in 3rd place on the Kawasaki, and I saw the 22 of Sagan in 4th, and right behind him is the 15 of Chris Evans. So most of our front runners are in the mix, but the number 1 of Brown is starting to pull away on Bauer. Boy, is he fast in the straightaway, in both classes, of course.
These guys look awesome. Look at that textbook slide. He's starting to get this track figured out, staying out of that really soft cushion there. Pouliot in the tuck, really making some headway on the 2 leaders. And then it's the 22 of Seguin. Never count out Tyler Seguin. He is a warrior out there on the Yamaha. But right now, Brown starting to stretch it out just a wee bit.
This looks like the differential in points, Brian, that we're talking about. Brown way ahead of the rest of the pack. But Hunter Bauer has been getting faster and faster with each race, Brian. I think he's going to push Brown next year. Look at this cluster. 4 bikes coming through turn 3. That is the battle for 3rd place. Oh, my, look at Brown hanging out. Ridiculous.
Both riders elbows up, just working it as best they can. These teammates, we are in for an exciting next year. Bauer in that white, red, and black gear looks the part. He is showtime inside and out.
There is the number 22 of Sagan leading Jimmy the Jet McCullough into turn number 3. Sagan running the high line as we get back to the number 1 of Brown in the lead. Then we have Showtime Bauer in 2nd place. Here comes the 16 of Pouliot and that cluster for 3rd place led by the 15 of Chris Evans.
Evans has snuck right in there. A little leg drag for Brown, our leader. You don't see that too often. His inside steel shoe just catching a little bit of dirt, pulling it back. And these riders have these custom-made steel shoes that actually attach to their boot to withstand the rigors of dragging along at 100 miles an hour. Great battle for 4th with Seguin and Jimmy the Jet McCullough with the wily veteran Harley-Davidson USA rider Chris Evans sitting 3rd, but it looks like Newman has joined the fray here, getting in the mix with Seguin and Jimmy the Jet.
Oh, Fabs, that's why we come here. 3 racers riding abreast, coming out of 3 into the straightaway. Battles aplenty to our leader, the number 1 of Dustin Brown in total control. Brian, for our viewers out there, motorcycle racing enthusiasts, what's the difference between riding the open class or the framer compared to that modified 450?
Oh, man, a big difference, Travis. There's no displacement regulations. Oh, and a big swap-a-roo for Brown. He's dragging the wheel. He's looking back. You see, if his teammates saw that, usually when a rider messes up in front of you, it gives you that little extra horsepower to say, man, he's having trouble. I got a chance here. You can see Brown looking back, doing some damage control, a big lead. But Travis, yeah, no displacement regulations here, so they can run bigger engines. The bikes are lower to the ground, and some of these are 20-year-old chassis, different geometry, and they just work for going quickly around these oval tracks.
For sure, and if you think about the modified 450s, those are motocross bikes, but they are heavily modified to race on a dirt track. And as you say, lowering, no front fender, different suspension, modified exhaust. But these are the true flat track racing bikes, and you can see how they handle tracks like this. They just eat them up.
Well, we just had a report that the 16 of Dave Pouliot's motorcycle has expired, so Brown has a huge lead. Bauer in 2nd has backed it down a notch. Getting back to the motorcycles, open versus DTX. Both of those classes, there is no front brake allowed, so these riders have a little back brake to trail, but I'm loving what I'm seeing here from Brown. A couple laps ago, he he got his foot way up on the pegs early. He's still completely sideways. And on these fast tracks, halfway through the race, they are throwing it sideways well before they even get close to the corner, scrubbing off that speed, and poetry in motion right there for Brownie.
Our defending champion in the open class is the number 1 of Dustin Brown. He's got 2 laps to go. Well, I guess a lap and a half now, Brian, with the speed that Brown's carrying around this track as he comes into 3. Now, the thing is, when we watch Brown, we've been talking about it all season long. The way he handles the corner, the style, the elbows out, this is how you ride this motorcycle on these tracks. He's poetry in motion.
Dude, he is awesome. He is a strong young man, able to just work that motorcycle through. Of course, all these guys having designs on the U.S. series as well, honing their skills, racing Canada. Off weekends, they get down into the big show down the States. And Dirt Track Canada's got a lot to be proud of. Parts Canada, Honda, Yamaha, all the great sponsors, Harley-Davidson, bringing this sport back to life and resurrecting the oldest sport in motorcycling in North America. And it is Brown with the W and clinching that championship for the second year back-to-back.
What a way to finish out the 2019 season. The number 1 of Brown is your dominant rider. We're coming back with the championship podium. Welcome back to the Hiawatha Horse Park in Sarnia, Ontario, and there is Brown and Beeger going around for their final lap with the checkered flag. Let's get to our top 10 in the Open Expert race. Brown with a commanding win over Bauer. McCullough with a dynamite finish in 3rd. Newman gets by Evans. Evans is in 5th. Marintet, Sagan, Pickle, Hoy, and Lambert.
Number 15 is Chris Evans, 3rd overall in Open Expert. Chris, it has been a huge year for you. You're just out here with all these young guys mixing it up, and in a lot of instances, you're showing them who's boss.
Sometimes I can compete with these kids, and sometimes I can't. I've had some good ones and some stinkers, but had fun every week.
All the way from Welland, Ontario, Tyler Seguin on the 22, the big 2-2. A great year for you. I mean, you've been in the mix. You never give up. Always keep your head down. 2nd overall in the championship, man. That's some fruits for the labor.
Yeah, it feels good. Last year was 3rd, this year is 2nd, so that means next year's got to be 1st, right? So it's got to go that way, so I'm going to try to make that happen.
Introducing Dustin Brown, our Open Expert champion for the 2nd year in a row, man. Twice repeat. You got to be just pumped riding this Kurt Beeger Honda. A wicked season. It's just been a joy watching you go around these tracks, Dustin.
Yeah, for sure. Had a stellar season. Definitely couldn't have done it without Kurt Beeger, Honda Canada, and all the rest of my sponsors. We're just looking forward to do it again next year.
Congratulations to DB91. Dustin Brown is your 2019 Open Expert champion. There's your top 10 in that class. Great finish for Bauer in 4th, Pouliot in 5th, and McCullough in 6th. And Faz, it's time for the champagne.
Our top 3 just saucing. Flat Track Canada President Aaron Hesmer. Oh, what a season it's been. Go to Flat Track Canada Facebook page and support the sport.
You have been watching the 2019 Canadian Flat Track Championships, brought to you by Parts Canada. At Parts Canada, we support the sport. And the Harley-Davidson MasterCard. Get the Ultimate Riders Reward credit card with the Harley-Davidson MasterCard. For the entire Flat Track Canada team, Hills Video Productions and Brian Coster, I'm Mark Travers. It's been a great season. We'll see you next year.